doesn't have to be long. Like I said yesterday, plan for a series, plan for 2 series.
Exactly.
You know, whatever it takes to get him comfortable.
That's why I was surprised Goff did that last week.
I was too.
But you know what? Look, you guys, and you obviously have done it. A lot of times you want to play, even though it is preseason. That was one of the things that I noticed in watching Hard Knocks. It's how pissed off Micah Parsons was.
Turn right onto West Huron Street.
Yes. You want to go out there, you want to prove you belong, you want to prove that you live up to your draft stock and all of those things. But Micah Parsons,
For 25 miles, continue straight.
they're all in that same bunch of haven't played the game in 2 years, year and a half. I want to get out there and actually hit someone and play. This is what we do. Yes, it's work, and there are times where in practice it's hard. This is a thing, and it's fun. I actually want to play the games. It's not, it shouldn't be a shocker.
It's funny you mentioned Parsons. You know, I was on that. I was talking about the Lions regret, not taking Justin Fields. I hope they don't regret not taking Parsons.
I don't think they will. I don't. And only time is going to tell.
Yes, he just seems, at least, granted, it's Hard Knocks, that he has the mentality. He just wants to play.
Yeah.
And that's good. All right.
We have a guy that does that too.
Yeah.
I know.
You're partial to that position. I understand that. Now, we talked a little bit yesterday about certain things we think are going to happen in this season. What about on the negative side? Who do you think is going to be the first coach to get the ziggies?
Yeah.
Whether it's during the season, well, usually that was a couple usually during the season.
Yeah.
And you mentioned one already that might be up there if they don't get off to a decent start.
Zach Taylor.
Yeah, but here's mine. I just still think it's just smoke and mirrors of Kingsbury. The Cardinals don't improve what they were last year. I think it's time for this experiment to end where you have a unsuccessful, as far as wins and losses, college coach promoted to the NFL based on what? Because Coach Patrick Mahomes in college.
Yes. And he actually was fired and then became the offensive coordinator at USC for a cup of coffee.
Right.
And then graduated up to the NFL as a head coach.
Right. I kind of thought he'd be somebody. He'd be good in Michigan as an offensive coordinator.
I think he is a good offensive mind, and I've been in that position too. Norv Turner, I thought, was a terrific coordinator. It just never worked out as a head coach, but a terrific offensive mind. And some guys are built to be coordinators, others head coaches, and Kingsbury may be of that style. But you go out and you sign a J.J. Watt, you go out and you get an A.J. Green.
Yeah.
You better produce, and it's going to be really hard because that division is going to be one of the toughest in the NFL.
Right.
You know, you've got the Rams in there, you got San Francisco in there, Seattle.
Yes.
I mean, it's so to show improvement or to make the playoffs, if that's the bar that he's been given to keep his job out, I don't know if that's the case or not.
Well, the bar will be when we play the Lions.
Well, we know what happens when the Lions come to Arizona. They just end up in a tie. But
exactly.
It's Zach Taylor, I think, is one of those coaches. And here's the unique thing about looking at the teams. There were 8 new hires going into this season. So you've got to believe that you're not going to get fired after the year.
Correct.
Removes those guys. The year before, I believe it was 7. So you're at about half of the NFL that's in year 1 or year 2. The other ones, the reason that they haven't been fired is because they've actually been successful.
Yes.
So I think you're looking at really 5 options. Denver with Vic Fangio.
Yeah, who they just announced that Teddy Bridgewater is going to be their quarterback.
And you've got Cincinnati, we talked about with Zach Taylor. You've got Arizona with Kingsbury. I think Minnesota and Mike Zimmer, the way that they started last year, and with all of that's gone on there with vaccine and all that stuff, if they start off slow or if they have a subpar season, and by subpar, I think for them, don't make the playoffs.
Right.
I think he could be gone. And then, see, in the division, Matt Nagy. And so I think the one that would be gone first is actually Matt Nagy, simply because of the outrage of the fan base.
Well, it depends. He's got the look. He says Dalton's going to start.
Yes.
So if they get off to a slow start, He puts in Fields, and then he gets his little free pass probably for a while.
Okay, let me give you this one, though.
Okay.
If they do that, and Andy Dalton has the slow start, they make the change to Justin Fields, and then Justin Fields has a season maybe like Justin Herbert did last year, but with a little bit better clock management at the end. They win enough games, but they miss the playoffs by one. And they go back and they say, you know what, if you started Justin Fields from the beginning, you would have been a playoff team. You were, so hard-headed that you wouldn't do it.
You waited till week 4 till they played Detroit.
Right.
To start Justin Fields.
Yeah, but I think that would be a scenario where they would say, you know what, we know what we have moving forward. We're going to bring in another guy who we have more confidence in. And I think confidence of the fan base in Chicago, it's a very vocal fan base, and they do have some power.
You said you had a couple of others too. We'll get to them coming up next. By the way, congratulations to Marty from North Branch. He was the correct caller when he heard Dan Dickerson describe the tying run yesterday, Castro driving in Miguel Cabrera. Because he was the correct caller, he wins a spot in the Miller Lite Field of Dreams, Comerica Park, September 16th. Great event. You get a chance to be in the locker room, personalized jersey, play at Comerica Park. It's unbelievable. We love what the Tigers and, of course, what Miller Lite does for the Miller Lite Field of Dreams. This is all courtesy of Miller Lite, the official beer of your Detroit Tigers. Don't forget the 2 Grand Slam coming up at 7:25. As summer heats up, so does the sports betting action at BetMGM. Sign up now using the bonus code STONY, and your first wager is totally risk-free up to $1,000. Place your bets on all the exciting showdowns in Major League Baseball, MLS, and more sports from around the globe. Hell, maybe you finally bet on the Orioles yesterday, and they won. They're losing 19 in a row. And when you register with BetMGM, you also get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, daily boosted odds specials on the big games. From breathtaking goals to great home runs, the King of Sportsbooks takes every play to a new level of excitement. Simply download the BetMGM app today or go to BetMGM.com and enter the bonus code STONY to get back up to $1,000 on your very first wager. With BetMGM, you're just a few taps away from turning game time into showtime. New customer offer. Paid and free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. You must be 21 or older. Michigan only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJE I-50 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Henry Ford College. Still looks pretty decent on the drive this morning. Accident-free this time around, and only a little heavy through 275 between South Round Road and 94 Work Zone. Looking for a career-focused education in 2 years or less? At Henry Ford College, their 1-year and 2-year programs get you ready for big things. They also offer 4-year options like culinary school and dozens of transfer programs. Get ready for your future at Henry Ford College. Visit hfcc.edu. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Radio.com is now Odyssey. Download the Odyssey app and listen to 97.1 The Ticket and all the sports, news, music, and podcasts that move you.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The COVID-19 Delta variant has dashed hopes that the upcoming NFL season will be back to business as usual, as many of us predicted would happen once vaccines became widely available. Despite the lack of a league mandate for players and coaches to be vaccinated, Team Goodell has applied as much pressure, financial and otherwise, to encourage voluntary inoculations. Still, a percentage of the player population continues to resist the jab. Unvaccinated players face increased odds of becoming game day scratches, since they're the only ones who must submit to PCR testing 4 hours before kickoff. Tampa Bay head coach Bruce Arians is implementing rules that are even more stringent than the league's. Families at the hotel, all that's out the window, he declared. As for dining out, we ain't going anywhere. I don't give a crap if they're vaccinated or not. Sounds like that guy wants to compete. He ain't getting around. Over sign.
Welcome to AutoZone. Having some starting trouble? We can help you out. Let's start with a free battery test. If you just need a charge, we can help with that too. And if you need a new battery, we've got a wide selection of replacement batteries starting at just $79.99. And we're the only place you can find proven tough Duralast batteries, including Duralast Platinum with AGM and EFB technology. That's why we're America's #1 battery destination. Claim based on data Award from the NPD Group 2020.
Gonna miss you around here, Iris.
Olivia's best optometry technician is going back to school.
Did we get that new friend?
Her eye is already twitching about finding a replacement.
This can't keep happening. We're gonna have to cancel appointments.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Screen for quality candidates with the skills your role needs with Indeed assessments. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
A message from the staff of Michigan's Crime Victim Compensation Program.
Anyone can be a victim of crime and suffer lasting trauma, physically, emotionally, and financially.
But you are not alone.
If you're struggling financially due to a crime, we're here for you.
Find out if you qualify for crime victim compensation.
Call 877-251-7373 or visit michigan.gov/crime-victim.
A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Victim Services.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. If you haven't refinanced your mortgage in 2021, you need to call Hall Financial right now to see if you qualify for our no appraisal 8-day close. Call 248-308-5000 or check us out online at callhallfirst.com. You could be saving hundreds of dollars a month by calling Hall Financial today. That's 248-308-5000 or chat with us online. Callhallfirst.com.
All Financial, NMLS ID 1467435, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Michigan, it's Charlie back with great news. Now you can bet on all your favorite sports with the Play Gun Lake Online Sportsbook. Live in-game, play-by-play betting. Let you bet while you watch. Bet the money line as it changes during the game. Plus, bet on individual player performances as they happen. New customers, sign up right now and get your first bet risk-free up to $750. PlayGunLake.com and use my promo code TOUCHDOWN. PlayGunLake.com has all the details. You must be 21 and Michigan Family Private Company or Michigan Problem Gambling Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
The Tigers host the Blue Jays Friday, August 27th, 7:10 at Comerica Park. The first 10,000 fans receive a free Tigers floppy hat courtesy of National Coney Island. Tickets start at just $10. Visit tigers.com/tickets.
Crack a cold one and get game day ready with all your country favorites. Tailgate Crashers, the new Odyssey exclusive station. Get it on the Odyssey app today. Text the ticket using the same number you used to call the ticket. Ticket text 248-539-9797. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Chatson.
97.1 the ticket, still having the program, 725 the 2 Grand Slam, 735 Guido Luna, who is the assistant coach for Taylor North Little League and across from Williamsport. They lost yesterday to Honolulu 2-0. They hit the ball really, they had one hit, geez, what are you talking about? But they hit the ball, they always the expression, hit the ball where they ate.
Yeah.
They hit the ball where they were. They hit the ball hard, and I think it was the shortstop and the second baseman made a really good catch and ran in the right position and almost hit a home run, deepest part of the ballpark in center field. Kid from Hawaii reached over and kept it from being a home run. But they go at it again today against Abilene, Texas at 3 o'clock.
Excited to see him.
Yeah.
And you mentioned I had just a couple more coaches.
You think could get there? The first one to get the thing, I think it's going to be Kingsbury.
Well, and I think it's going to be Matt Nagy, but I mentioned the first and second year coaches. Now, it's rare that happens. I did have that experience. Marty Schottenheimer was in Washington for just 1 year. He was relieved of duty.
During the season?
No, it was after the season. But it's rare that it happens. But I think there's a couple situations that may even be out of the coach's control. One of them, and they're both in the state of Texas. Houston.
Oh, yeah, I thought about that.
David Culley, I don't know, even when he was hired, I was like, because of his, you can be hired at any age, but he is an older coach. It's his first head coaching job. The situation there with the front office and the ownership, it's just a terrible situation.
And with the Deshaun Watson situation, number one, probably.
And so, I don't think anybody believes they're going to be a better team this year than they were last year. And it has nothing to do with him.
Correct.
I think that he was hired because they want to go out and get a different coach. They just couldn't this year because of everything that's going on. The other one is in Dallas. Dallas, and everything was going great until Dak Prescott got hurt.
He was on pace to throw for like 7,000 yards.
Yeah, he was. And he was having a great year. Now, and then he gets hurt. The offensive line was decimated by injuries. The defense was decimated by injury. But we all know Jerry Jones does not have a lot of patience. And I think that he did with Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
And I agree, but I also think that they haven't won a Super Bowl since 95.
Right.
Jerry Jones is not getting any younger. And he wants to make moves that are going to win now. He's given Dak Prescott this huge contract. He's, you go down their roster, and offensively, what was it, a couple years ago, now 2 years ago, they gave Ezekiel Elliott a big deal, and he's, we all know that there's an expiration date on running backs. He's nearing his. Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb.
Zeke looks like he's in great shape. It sounds like I'm like pimping for the Cowboys, who I hate, as you know.
Right.
And watching Hard Knocks, CeeDee Lamb is just, I think he's
CeeDee Lamb is yes, he's outstanding. And you put him with Amari Cooper, and I don't know, it becomes a huge challenge. And having said that, and now Dak Prescott has the shoulder issue. If that goes away and Dak Prescott plays, he did look good, and I did watch Hard Knocks last night, just to get an idea of what.
You watched the most current one, where they showed the drone to the star and all that?
I did, yeah. It's unbelievable.
It's almost obscene.
I was there when Michigan played Florida at Jerry World there.
Right.
And Michigan had a practice at the Star, so I got a chance to walk around. It's almost, you see it in the video, it's unbelievable. You see it in person, and it's even more unbelievable.
They play high school games.
They play the high school state championship at the Star.
Yeah.
And so when they had the storm, they're outside, all of a sudden they come in, they're playing in it's not an indoor facility. It's a 20,000 seat stadium.
Yes.
For their practice, their indoor practice facility.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. But Jerry Jones has invested so much into the Star, into this team, into his players, into the coaching staff, that if there is not an immediate turnaround, I think Mike McCarthy could be one of those guys that after year two they just say, you know what, we're gonna cut bait.
I agree, but I don't think it's gonna happen during the season. That's why I don't think he's gonna be one of the first. Here's another name. Just now, it's definitely an organization that is patient, so I don't think it's gonna happen. But there's a lot of talk that Joe Judge and his players and all that is just it's not working out so well.
There may be more of a change with Gettleman. I think their GM, which then, as we all know, kind of sometimes will lead to a coaching change.
If that happens, these different rumors, experiencing this.
Yes. But I think that would be the case because their picks in the first round just haven't panned out. Saquon Barkley has been hurt. They don't have an offensive line for him to block, to run behind, It could be. But that division is so bad, they could get 6 or 7 wins, as we saw last year, and be in contention for a division title.
You talk about patience. I don't know if this person has patience or not, because they invested a lot of money. Mark Davis. What's John Gruden's leash here? If they don't do anything.
I looked at that. How long has he been there now? We're going on 4 years?
I think so. Gov, is this going to be year 4 or 3?
Yeah, Gov's it there. I think we're going on 4 years. Okay. And he signed a 10-year, $100 million contract. I think he's got at least 2 more. I really do. And he has held on to, David Carr. He's not made a change at Derek Carr, yeah. He's not made a change at that position. And I think if it doesn't work this year, they go to the draft or they try and make a trade.
They get rid of Mayock, maybe.
I think those 2 guys are tied. I think they're tied, and I think it's going to come down to Carr and what he does or doesn't do, because he's a Raider for life, as we've heard.
Yeah.
So, but I don't see John Gruden being out of Vegas anytime.
2 Grand Slam coming up at 7:25. After Chris Villar's update, Heather has news.
Oh, I do have news. This one always shocks me. I'm never ready for news right now. But I've got lots of it.
All right.
Okay. Doug says sports and stuff?
Yeah.
Heather's got news and stuff coming
News
up
on the
next.
news, yeah.
97 on the ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It took 10 innings to decide the game between the Tigers and the Cardinals. A base running snafu costing Detroit a chance in their half of extras. And then St. Louis ending things in the bottom. 3-2 the final with Harold Castro tying the game in the ninth, but Michael Fulmer taking the loss. Although Tarek Skubal, he was pretty good in his 5 innings of work.
2-2. Swing and miss. Boy, just a flat-footed flail and a slider down and in. 10th strikeout for Tarek Skubal. Second time in his career he's reached double digits in strikeouts. 11 in his career is his career high. Everything's working today.
That call is heard right here on 97.1 The Ticket with Dan Dickerson. Paul Goldschmidt hitting a pair of home runs for the Redbirds, the only damage done against Skubal. Taylor North battling with some really hard-hit balls, but eventually falling to Hawaii 2-0 in their Little League World Series matchup. Their first loss of the tournament. They'll play an elimination game versus Texas this afternoon. Wide receiver Tyrone Williams dealing with a groin injury and will not play in the Lions' preseason finale at Ford Field on Friday. Head coach Dan Campbell saying they're being smart about these injuries. Also, a brawl breaking out during yesterday's practice. Players who spoke afterwards seemed to think that the competitive juices were a good thing for this team. And in the words of Amani Bates, the 17-year-old high school recruit taking his talents to the University of Memphis after deciding to leave high school a year early. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villard. More stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Thank you, Chris. Heather with news. What's up?
Well, you guys, a Heartland Township man was sentenced to more than 6 years in prison for his role in plotting to kidnap Governor Whitmer. So 25-year-old Ty Gerard Garvin is the first of those accused in this high-profile conspiracy to be sentenced. So there are 4 Michigan residents plus a Delaware resident that have also been charged in federal court in connection to this alleged kidnapping plot, and they will go to trial later this year. Now, Garvin pleaded guilty back in January to his part in the conspiracy, and he is the only defendant to plead guilty.
And if I'm one of the others, I'm freaking out right now because 6 years, I mean, they thought he might get 7, and that's low because he did plead guilty, as you said. You plead not guilty, and if you're convicted, that sentence is going to be a lot higher.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're all very nervous. I mean, as they should be. I mean, anyone in that situation would be a little nervous, I would imagine.
Being in jail for 6 years, maybe the Lions will win the Super Bowl.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
You guys, FBI agents raided the homes of 2 Detroit City Council members and the City Hall on Wednesday morning as part of this growing corruption case. Some said, you know what, if they send our kid home, we'll homeschool them instead. Others said that they were going to file a lawsuit in a bid to block the emergency health order. And then kind of on counter of that, there was actually some, what would you call it? Not a protest, but a
Demonstration?
A demonstration, sure, a rally in Macomb County, because there's parents that are upset that there isn't a mask mandate at schools in Macomb County. So, I mean, we've seen this everywhere. We've been seeing it at all the school board meetings across the country. This is a really divisive topic about masks in school. And we were talking about how in Oakland County, the mandate will be in place until they go down to a moderate transmission level. And John, you asked, what is a moderate transmission level? Well, I have the answer. So a moderate transmission level of COVID is 10 to 50 cases per 100,000 people, or a positivity rate between 5% and 8%. Now, currently, Oakland Township is...
The low end of that is 10 cases per 100,000.
That's what this says. This is according to the CDC. Substantial transmission, which is where Oakland County is 50 to 100 cases per 100,000, or a positivity rate between 8% and 10%.
It just seems like such a minuscule number.
It does. When you hear that, it seems very, very low.
100 out of 100,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So there you have it.
What they should do between the demonstration people and the rally people, whatever, you should put them in a battle royal.
Yeah.
Pro-mask, anti-mask, pro-mask people, they can be the mask.
It would just be so ugly. It was just like, I understand, but no, in a arm wrestling contest, between the two.
Yeah, thumb wrestling. Yeah, let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a thumb war.
Yes.
There would be broken thumbs for sure. A Pennsylvania woman has been sentenced to 2 years in jail after she purposefully coughed and spat on about $35,000 worth of food at a grocery store at the very beginning of the pandemic. I feel like we talked about her because this was happening everywhere, where people were walking into places and like coughing on people. But this woman kind of went crazy, and she was spitting on produce. She was spitting on the bakery and meat selections at this grocery store, and all while she was doing that, she was screaming, "I have the virus, now you are all going to get sick." So she was claiming she had COVID. So she was actually sentenced, like I said, to 2 years in jail, followed by 8 years of probation.
Dang.
Wow. That judge laid the hammer on her. She did apologize. She did plead guilty to doing these things, but the judge, she asked for forgiveness. The judge just didn't really give her any and said that this was totally outrageous. And then after that, not only is she sentenced to all of that, she also has to pay about $30,000 in restitution and undergo a mental health evaluation.
She definitely needs an evaluation. Wow. Anybody does that, no matter what you think.
So crazy. I remember when that happened, and it was happening everywhere.
No.
Wild. So a 2020 Olympian from China says that her gold medal is already peeling.
What?
Yeah. Huh? So this athlete earned the gold in the trampoline gymnastics, and she says that she was looking at her medal and she thought there was like a little something dirty on it, like there was a mark on it. So she tried to clean it off with her finger. She said nothing happened. So she kind of picked at it a little bit, and then this mark kept getting bigger, and she realized that it was peeling. And these medals are not actually solid gold medals. So they were made using recycled material donated by Japan's citizens, and then they're coated with about 6 grams of gold. So after this story broke, the Tokyo Olympic Organizing Committee did come out, and they said the coating that's peeling on this woman's medal is a protective layer and not actually the gold plating. Is it or isn't it? That's, I mean, I guess up for debate by this athlete. If she wants a replacement medal, she's going to have to pay for it. So I'm guessing she's not going to get one. The committee could choose to open an investigation into the matter, but based on the fact that they said it's a protective layer, I don't think they're going to.
Well, even if it's a protective layer, it should be on display, and it should look pristine.
She just got this.
She just got it. Replace the medal.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's dumb.
It's not an old one. She literally just received it.
Go to the store and just get it bronzed.
take it in somewhere. Today's a great day. It is a great day because it's National Dog Day. Oh, yeah! Who doesn't love a dog? Well, actually, there's quite a bit of people that don't consider themselves dog people. So only 49% of Americans say they are a dog person, which surprises me. I thought it would be higher.
It depends on your definition of a dog person, because I've always had dogs.
You're not a
but
dog
I wouldn't
person?
necessarily say I'm a dog person. I'm certainly dogs over cats.
Yeah, I'm pro-dog, but how do you define dog person? Like somebody who puts jackets on their dog in the winter?
Well,
no, they got their own jacket.
Exactly.
That's beyond a dog person, I would
people
say.
that like dogs have dogs. Okay,
I feed her. I
You
give
take
her
care
water.
of her. Yes. I think I am much more of a dog person than either of you.
Probably 100%. No question.
But I still don't put jackets on my dog.
Right.
But I'm not that far. But some more dog stats. 68% of dog owners let their dogs sleep in bed with them at least once a month. I know.
How about every night?
We allow it once in a while. It's not something we endorse, but once in a while, especially after we've just given them a bath, it's like, okay, you're super clean and fluffy. You can sleep up here. They actually don't prefer to sleep in bed with us. They'd rather sleep on the tile in the bathroom, on the tile, or in their dog bed. Also, 70% of dog owners include their dog's name when they send out holiday cards.
Absolutely not.
We haven't sent out holiday cards in a long time. I don't think we've done that.
I've never sent out a holiday card, but I don't know. I don't know if I would. I laughed at it, but maybe I would. I'm not sure.
Maybe before I had kids. No.
Yeah. Finally, there is a North Carolina man who recently agreed to sell his 2020 Corvette Stingray. And he was actually supposed to hand over the keys to the new owner earlier this week on Tuesday. But on Monday, of course, the last day he was supposed to own this car, he decided, you know what, I got to take this out for just one last hurrah. Let's have a little bit of fun with this. And that's what he did. He went out on the road, he gunned it, and he lost control. The car drove off the road into a ditch, and it flipped onto its side. The car was totaled. Thankfully, the driver wasn't injured at all. He wasn't hurt. But obviously now that sale is not going to go through. And on top of all of that, he was also charged with reckless driving.
Ouch.
Yeah.
How fast was he going?
It doesn't say. He just said that they gunned it. So he just lost control and crashed. That's a bad day. Because I bet he was going to make quite a bit of money on that car, especially how car sales are right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I understand why you'd want to do it.
Sure,
I do.
me
I'm not going to blame him for that. But that's sad. That's a lot of cabbage you're probably giving up.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of cheddar. All right, thank you very much, Heather. 725, $2 Grand Slam here on Scully and Jansen program on 97.1.
Use the left lane to turn onto
MMA champion Tyrone Williams enters the boxing ring this Sunday to take on YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul. And FanDuel Sportsbook is giving new customers exclusive 30-1 odds on either fighter to win. That's exactly right. You heard it. It was I didn't make a mistake. Now is the perfect time to give FanDuel a shot because you can win $150 on a simple $5 bet. FanDuel is always hooking new users up with exclusive odds boosts, great promotions, and so much more. That's why they're America's #1 sportsbook. And listen to this, when you win, they're going to get you your money fast in as little as 24 hours. So don't miss out on the chance to win $150 on a simple $5 bet on either fighter to win. All you got to do is download FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code Jansen to get in on the action. That's promo code Jansen. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 97.1 The Ticket. Must be 21 or over and present in Michigan. Odds boost available for new users only. Must wager on designated boost market. $10 first deposit required. Max bonus of $150. Risk-free bet refund issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund of $10. Restrictions apply. See full terms for both offers at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, a look at the drive this morning. A couple of minor accidents have popped up. One of them on 696 eastbound exit to Cousins, blocking the right shoulder. Another on the left shoulder of 75 northbound just after Holbrook. 275 traffic still building through the work zone between South Grand Road and 94. And in Commerce Township, Loop Road north of 14 Mile is closed until tomorrow. You can use Haggerty Road instead. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Building a world-class sports station in a world-class sports city.
I'm an emergency medical technician. I've been to the scene of a lot of vehicle crashes, and in nearly half of them, alcohol is involved.
I need help over here. Get this one loaded up.
I've seen so many lives lost. Some of them were drunk drivers. Some were just people going about their day. Families on vacation, kids on their way home. A couple out to dinner. I do everything I can to keep them alive, but sometimes nothing helps. I can tell I'm losing them. All because someone left a bar or party and said, I'm okay to drive.
In 1 mile,
Ask an EMT like me. We can tell you it's not okay.
If you saw what first responders see every day, you'd never drink and drive. Police are cracking down on impaired drivers now, so drive sober or get pulled over. A message from the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning.
Ready for an oil change? Visit the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to get everything you need. Right now, get 5 parts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $28.95 and earn double O rewards points with your purchase. Protect your engine against sludge and wear with Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil. On sale now at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacter aerogenes bacteria, but does not provide 24-hour protection against viruses. Every time you touch a surface, you leave behind bacteria. Use Microban 24 sanitizing spray to keep surfaces sanitized all day. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of bacteria and viruses initially, including the virus that causes COVID-19. Microban 24 keeps killing bacteria for 24 hours, touch after touch. When used as directed, Microban 24. Touch after touch, it doesn't give up.
Hi, this is Bill.
And Tim.
Can't find the perfect vehicle? Getting the runaround from the other guys? We can help. Reserve one of our 1,600 vehicles that are being built right now. Or you can take advantage of over 300 new vehicles in stock today. Don't miss out on our Make This the Summer event, where you can get into a new 2021 Ram 1500 starting at only $299 a month.
Whether you live in Northville, Berkeley, Brighton, or Allen Park, you're just a short drive from the best car buying experience ever. And remember, all roads and all towns lead Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at 11.5 in total.